moisturizing my face. Oh my god, can you see those lights flickering? It is hissing rain right now. The power already went out once tonight. Thank God Maddi was here and I wasn't alone, because I would have shit my pants, to be super honest. I really am freaked out by the dark. Anyway, hi vlog. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Gabby. Thanks for joining us today. I'm currently taking off my makeup for the day with my absolute new favorite cleansing balm. This is the Up and Away cleansing balm by Twenties World. This is my friend Emily's brand. I will link it below. I'll link the products below that I'm using. Oh my god, it's just so nice to like give yourself a little massage after a long day. I'm getting ready for bed before midnight, which I don't know why I'm acting shocked. This is like a very common occurrence. I don't know why I'm shocked that I'm like getting ready for bed before midnight on a Friday and home. I am in my luteal phase, if anybody is curious and like wants to cycle sync with me virtually. That means that I am getting my period next week, which means that my skin is doing some things. So I'm gonna wash my face right now. I don't know if I've talked about this on YouTube, but I'm obsessed with this Sulfur soap. I use it morning and night. I'm gonna wash my face with that right now. Oh, there's no better feeling. This week was a long one, but a long one in a really, really good way. I've been skin cycling and I'm trying to remember what night I am on. I think I'm on the retinol night. Is it good to use a retinol when you're breaking out? Somebody tell me, because I'm not sure, but I'm going to do it. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna skip the retinol night because I really want to use my super good benzoyl peroxide treatment, and I probably shouldn't mix that with a retinol, so I'm just gonna use a hyaluronic acid peptide serum instead. This was sent to me by Dr. Zenovia. Sounds like Genovia. This is a hormonal dermatology brand. I just started using this, so can't confirm or deny, but it's just hyaluronic acid. So this week was a really good week. It was a very busy week, but there was a lot of face-to-face contact, which I feel like is few and far between for me these days, especially because I work from home alone. Lately though, I will say I have been making a very large effort to link up with my friends who also work from home, so it just doesn't feel so lonely. It's just such a good opportunity to also brainstorm. It kind of feels like you're creating your own co-working space. You're putting together your group of co-workers basically. This is, by the way, like the best moisturizer that I have literally ever used. Like I was saying, I've been really like, you see the light is flickering, you guys. I need to hurry up. I'm scared the power's gonna go off again. This, by the way, is the Naturopathica Gotu Kola. I'm obsessed with this. It's like my version of slugging. My facialist recommended this to me and it feels very healing on my skin. It has a very earthy smell, I will say, but I have grown to really like it. I live in Los Angeles, so it is very dry here. So I use this morning and night. And then of course the Laneige, is that how you say it? Lip sleeping mask, which we've gone through 75 bottles of this. Now I'm just gonna spot treat with my benzoyl peroxide. Can someone tell me if I'm supposed to do this first? Because like I normally spot treat last, but because that Gotu Kola from Naturopathica is so thick, I'm like, should I do this before I do anything else? But I've just been doing it at the end. Meadow and I this weekend are hosting a panel with AIM Mental Health. I'm hosting a panel on breath work, which I'm so excited about. The panelists are amazing and I cannot wait to learn more about breath work. There's so many incredible benefits for our mental and physical health and just like the way we move through life. So I am personally very excited to get to hear from these experts and specialists. And then Meadow is hosting a panel on self-love. This is the first panel that I am moderating, so wish me luck, even though it would have already happened. I really want to get into moderating more panels. I feel like it's just another way of hosting conversations, which is what I love to do. Thought I would take you guys along for the weekend of that. I don't know how much footage I'm gonna get at the actual event. I'm gonna see if I can con my boyfriend into filming some BTS. Alrighty, well I'm gonna get in bed. I made myself a ginger tea. I love a ginger tea before bed. And I'm so excited to not have an alarm for tomorrow morning. Can't wait. Guys, the fucking power went out. And I know I'll be sleeping, so I technically won't like know. But it freaks me out. It turned on for like 1 second. motherfucker. Power's out. So the power went out and I'm pretty sure I broke a curtain trying to open the electric curtains. I almost cried and it's fine, but then he came to save me, and thank God, because the power is out in the whole building and the emergency lights aren't on and it looks like the apocalypse. So
we got croissants. That's
the moral of the story, is we got coffee and croissants. And I bought a mug.
I'm not mad at the rain though.
No, I'm not mad at the rain either. We have a lot of things we gotta do today. Like, I don't know how I feel about doing that in the rain. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it should be like a little quick, you know, in and out, hippity hoppity. Look, yo, I don't want to call him out because I like the place. Croissant.
Oh, I can already tell by the fucking texture. This shit's not flaky, it's spongy.
Yeah, it's not good. The chocolate, I don't know if you could tell, it's just like one little dookie swipe. Like, what is that?
I feel like that's what that normally looks like.
No,
chocolate croissant.
no.
Yeah, it is.
The place in Inglewood that I went to, the whole bottom was covered in chocolates.
All right, ciao. My power went out on Friday at like 11 p.m. and it didn't come back on until Sunday at like 9 p.m. Maybe a little earlier, like 8 p.m. So almost 2 full days, and that sucked, but we powered through. Today's Monday and I kind of treated it as my Sunday because I was just busy and I was fucking frazzled this weekend and my brain feels a little exhausted. So I thought I would make my comfort meal, which is just pasta with red sauce. When it comes to the recipe for the red sauce that I make, I kind of have combined my mom's recipe with Maddi's recipe with just taste testing as I go. And I thought I would just cook and walk you guys through the weekend and just have a little combo about what's been on my mind lately. Oh, did I run out of tomato paste? Boo. No, I didn't. Yay. What you need for this recipe is 7 garlic cloves, or however many your heart desires. I'm gonna use a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. This is just San Marzano. Then tomato paste. I'm running out of this, so I'm gonna use 2 different kinds. Maddi taught me this. An anchovy. Relax, I know it's disgusting, but such is life. Trust me, you won't be able to taste it. White cooking wine, per everything my mother has ever made. Some sugar, and some salt, pepper, maybe some oregano and basil, and whatever type of pasta you want to use. So this weekend, as you saw in the beginning of this vlog, I hosted my very first panel with AIM, which is a youth mental health organization that Meadow works with. And that was really exciting. I have been to one of their panels before, and they just bring together such a great community of speakers, and they just do such great, amazing things. So I was so excited and honored to get to work with them for this panel. It was in collaboration with Dog Pound. Meadow and I each moderated a panel. She moderated a panel on self-love, and I moderated a panel on breath work. I got to meet so many of the Thoughts May Vary pod listeners. Thank you guys so much for coming out. If you took the time out of your Sunday, we even had a listener drive up from San Diego, and that was just so amazing and so thoughtful, and also for such a good cause. Like, fuck me and Meadow, that was a great cause to go and support. But yeah, it was so cool getting to meet some of you guys in real life. So thank you so much for coming if you stopped by the AIM panel. After that, it was so nice to be able to do a little friends dinner with Meadow and Aaron, and our friends Michael and Sarah, and our friend Cardo. It was just, and my boyfriend, it was just so nice getting everybody together. I feel like we haven't done dinner as a group in a really long time, so that was so fun and so nice. So yeah, it was a beautiful way to end a weekend, and honestly a fucking wonderful distraction from the fact that there was no power and that my freezer was leaking all over my floor. Anyway, I'm just going to roughly chop this garlic, but don't get too caught up on it because the way that I like to make my pasta sauce uses a handheld, what's it called? Not like a food processor, but an immersion blender. That's what it's fucking called. Okay, this is the best it's gonna get, I think, for this cooking setup. So I just have a big one of these, big pot, and I'm gonna turn my heat all the way nice and high, and then I'm gonna take some olive oil. So I use about that much olive oil, you know, whether that's like maybe a tablespoon. I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit, and then I'm just gonna take all my garlic and throw her in there. And then what we're gonna do is add our tomato paste and some seasoning, and then our anchovy, and let that melt down. I like for the garlic to kind of get a little bit of color on it, like this. We're gonna put in the tomato paste. Probably like, I don't know, half a little tube, maybe more than half a tube. I don't really measure. Sorry. This part gives me fucking anxiety. I'm gonna add an anchovy. I just buy these full little fillets. Look at that. Okay, I'm adding it in. And I'm gonna stir that into that tomato paste. And you're gonna notice that it's gonna melt into your sauce pretty fast. I like to salt as I go, so I'm gonna start adding a little bit of salt. I just have like a pinch of salt. Do a little pep. And then I'm gonna do some basil. I don't have any fresh basil, so this is just gonna have to freaking do. Same thing with some oregano. Again, I don't really know if it does something to get your spices cooking and hot before the rest of the liquid goes in. I don't know if it kind of like takes out the flavors in a good way, but we just like to do it, and then I'll just season as I go. Now we're gonna add our canned tomatoes. This hasn't been going for that long, to be super honest. It's gotten like a little bit of color on it. I don't know if you're supposed to do it for a certain amount of time. I'm sorry, this is so unhelpful for like me not giving you actual times. I don't really know. We're like learning in this together. This is kind of what this looks like right now. Not the most appetizing of things, but you know, we're gonna add our canned tomatoes. Get a good mix in. Make sure you don't wear white while you're doing this, you know, because it will splash all over you. I'm gonna start bringing up the heat a little bit on this. I'm gonna add a little more salt to that. Just that was like another pinch. This is where my mother comes into my head. White cooking wine and sugar. Pretty much in every Cuban recipe that I've ever made. And I'm gonna do a good splash. You just watch and then let me know how much you think that was. Like a third of a cup? Question mark? Now the sugar, I will measure a little more. I'll do like a teaspoon. I don't know if that's like blasphemous. There's like any Italian watching that's like, you're disgusting. Lo siento, bebe. I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna add in a couple of bay leaves. Maybe like one or two. Let's just do two for good measure. And I'm gonna lower the heat a little bit to like a nice medium low. And yeah, we're just gonna let her sit. I'm kind of hungry, so I'm probably gonna let it sit, to be super honest, for like 15 minutes. I feel like sometimes I love to let it sit for like a nice 45, but like we just don't have time for that. Also, I wanna mention that when I'm using normal pasta, I will 110% take a ladle of pasta water and add that into whatever sauce I'm making. Pasta water is gold. So that's the downside of the fact that I'm using chickpea pasta, because I don't want any of that weird foam in our beautiful sauce. So we will be skipping the pasta water situation today. This thing has been one of my favorite purchases of 2023. I realized that I like my sauce to feel a little creamy. and I wasn't getting that without blending it. And then I was just putting the hot sauce in a blender, which was just always kind of a mess. So the immersion blender was the most beautiful, perfect solution. So I highly recommend that you grab one. Do not do what I did the first time I used this immersion blender, and do not forget to take out your bay leaves, because bay leaves, my friends, are very bitter. Let's get going with this immersion blender. I just put this in here, turn on this button, and I just hold it down. This is the consistency that I like for my sauce. I like to be nice and smooth, not perfect, but I'm not really a chunky tomato gal, so that's kind of what we want it to look like. She also gets a little bit like lighter in color. It almost looks like, ooh, steam. It almost looks like you added a little bit of cream to it. Some good ASMR for you. I'm gonna put a lot of cheese. Some red pepper flakes. And there you have it. My easy, perfect pasta. Now that cheese is gonna get all melty and good. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that recipe. It's honestly my favorite recipe to make. I think it's so easy, and now you have leftovers with the sauce for the rest of the week that you could do so many things with. You can make a bolognese out of it. You could make some meatballs. Sometimes I would add peas in here. Did anyone else eat peas in their pasta growing up? Because it's like such a comfort thing for me. So I'm gonna eat my dinner. Thank you so much for watching today's vlog. This weekend kind of knocked the wind out of me, but today was a nice reset. Sorry if the recipe was kind of all over the place. It's just kind of what I like to do. I don't know if my cooking videos will ever get more refined. Okay, I'm gonna eat my pasta, eat my dinner. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked today's video, like, subscribe, ring the bell, do the things. I'll see you next time. Ciao.